The final Season 2 is about to drop, and man does it look crazy. CNS, a fictional hacking group, has broken into the game code and changed the world to be, well, kind of glitchy and wild and colorful. The new glitchy gadgets let you create holes in surfaces and then close them back up for stealth insertions. You can also completely reconstruct objects in the environment to become other stuff. They also have anti-gravity grenades, portal grenades. It's pretty wild stuff, and it shows just how much freedom the devs have with their game design. Now, I've been a fan of the concept of the finals right from the start. A game within a game allows the devs to do just about anything they want for the sake of fun, and it's absolutely showing with Season 2. I got to jump into some early rounds and check out the new gadgets and map the other day. Shout out to Embark for inviting me. And basically, CNS have hacked this new map and made it super colorful. It's sort of an 80s fever dream, which very much fits in line with the world game concept. Now, there's cool new guns and gadgets that I definitely want to talk about, but one of the more interesting things or enjoyable things that I found right away was the new game mode. And to be honest, generally speaking, limited time events or new game modes in these types of games don't always pique my interest, but the finals has been needing a little bit more of a brain-off way to play, and the new 5v5 mode provides just that. It's basically a King of the Hill or payload style game mode with a moving platform that bashes through buildings and pretty much any sort of object in its way. The team that spends the most time on this platform during the round wins, but it doesn't always mean that standing on the platform is the best strategy. There can be lots of overlooks and ways to take people out, so there's usually a battle surrounding this moving platform, and I gotta say it's very fun. And having only 2 teams pretty much negates the whole third-party problem that the other modes have, but there's still enough players to keep the action constant. I had a great time just jumping in, getting some kills, dying, trying to defend the platform, and just respawning without having to do complex math in my head and figure out what the best angle of approach and time to attack was that usually is common in the other mode. I think this is a great addition to the game and a very much needed one for a more casual way to approach the finals. And frankly, when it comes to the way that people play the finals, well, Season 1 had some issues with it, and I think the devs are definitely acknowledging many of those with Season 2. With Season 1, it took so long to unlock new Battle Pass ranks and level up your character to unlock that new gear that, well, frankly, you probably paid for. I think a lot of the players simply got burned out. I know I did, and I was kind of annoyed that I had dropped money for tiers that I wasn't really willing to grind to get. And in the later half of the season, the devs actually ended up just doubling the XP that you would get toward the Battle Pass, but that only made it so that you needed to play like 50 hours to unlock everything instead of 100. Now, luckily, and hopefully, as I haven't really gotten to test this out yet, the devs have some new solutions to make that seasonal grind less of a grind and more enjoyable. They're introducing a new contract system on top of the previous XP earn rate. It's pretty straightforward if you've done daily contracts before, and it's simple things like get X amount of damage or play X amount of matches in exchange for some additional XP. There's also a new circuit system that is kind of similar to daily challenges, but they're going to unlock at different times throughout the season, and each tier is going to have a whole bunch of challenges that you can complete to unlock new cosmetic items like emotes and additional flair. And again, the challenges seem like they're basic things such as get X number of kills or whatever like that. So hopefully those upgrades make the season far more appealing and less grindy. Now, as was the case with Season 1, the cosmetic upgrades really are amazing with Season 2. Embark has certainly proven themselves in the art department, and I'm really digging the TV characters and everything that they've got going on. Now, any way you slice it, the finals is a pretty high skill game, and it's attracted a lot of players who want to play it more competitively, but the tools to do that haven't really been in place for Season 1. Season 2 is bringing a big change to a lot of that stuff. They're updating the ranking system to be more fair and balanced around teamwork. I'm not entirely sure how big of a difference this will make to ranked play, but it seems like they're doing a substantial overhaul to it. And they're also adding private matches as a brand new feature. If you can get at least 6 players together, you can host a private match for the purpose of practicing strategies or even hosting your own tournament. This is huge for the competitive world, and it means the finals can actually build a community around tournaments, assuming that's what the players want, but it does look like there's a lot of people who want to do that. And alternatively, it could just become a really fun way to have a tournament among friends. Just generally a great and much needed feature. Now, of course, there's also some new primary weapons. The FAMAS is probably my favorite of the three. It's for the medium class, and it provides a really good medium range burst fire weapon. It's still got its iron sights, which I do find is a funny quirk of this game. No red dots for the finals. And then the heavy gets a slug shotgun, which is definitely a harder weapon to use, but it'll give the heavy more of a skill shot way to play, and I'm kind of curious to see how it fares in the wild, where some of the heavy's base weapons are already very powerful. Introducing one where you have to hit your shots or you have to go for headshots will be interesting to see. The light class gets the 93R burst fire pistol. It's a cool little gun. I didn't try it much because I'm not a huge light class player, but generally speaking, the finals primary weapons are somewhat secondary to a lot of the cool new gadgets and abilities. One of the coolest new things is the medium class getting the ability to make a hole in surfaces, and it is quite cool. You do have to use it in the ability slot though, so you're sacrificing a heal beam or a turret, but it is a really neat way to create a stealthy entry point to rooms or areas. Something that this game has kind of lacked up until now, as usually everyone's just busting through walls like the Kool-Aid Man, but now an entire team could potentially sneak up behind you before even having to open fire or explode a wall. There's also the Data Reshaper gadget, which turns existing stuff in the environment into other stuff. I'll be honest, I'm having a hard time trying to come up with good use cases for this one. I think you can essentially morph, say, mines or turrets into something else, but you have to get pretty close to do it, so I'll be curious to see if this becomes a desirable pick or just kind of a neat, wonky little thing you can do. There's now an anti-gravity grenade, which is kind of neat, and I need to explore the use cases on this one a bit further. Again, I'm not sure if messing with the world with this one is going to be as useful as just straight up killing players or blowing things up, so we'll again see if this one gets a lot of use. The light class gets a portal grenade now, which is very cool. I can see this one being super useful for certain metas. I think it'll need a bit more practice and sort of intimate map knowledge to know when is the best time to use them, but it's kind of a big brain play compared to something like just throwing C4 and blowing things up. Overall, it seems like Embark is giving players a lot more tools to explore their game world, and I'm all for it. I'm also really digging the whole theme of this season with the hacking and glitching and the wild colors. It seems like they're really trying to make the game more accessible, less grindy, and give us more ways to play it with friends without really watering down the whole experience. In my opinion, the 5v5 mode is one of the highlights, and it's kind of just like a real party mode experience that takes the cool stuff from Payload or other games like Overwatch and Team Fortress 2 and throws in a ton of crazy destruction that you get with the finals, and just lets you have fun breaking the meta with a full team of heavies sledgehammering their way through everything in sight. And for the series players, there's now a ton more tools and an improved matchmaking system to try and take your serious competitive gaming to the next level. In my opinion, Embark is showing how quickly they can ingest feedback and get it implemented into the game, and I'll be honest, I'm impressed. The speed at which they're doing things is pretty uncommon from a large development team, and I know that's sort of key to their company's philosophy, is using all the latest tools and tech to get things done and iterate quickly. If they can keep this up, then I think the finals has a very bright future. I'm excited to hear what you guys think about the finals update when it drops. Let me know in the comments. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave me a like, hit that subscribe button for more content like it, ding the notification bell to beat the YouTube algorithm with me, and up next, check out this incredible remaster of a classic Star Wars game that I grew up with. It's basically like what if Doom was Star Wars, and honestly, it's a pretty good hybrid. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.